I have a terrible time with pot plants in my house. I don't seem to be able to keep them alive. So an alternative is to paint your own. So let's do that today. I'm going to be using the nice bright Kuretake watercolors set today. This isn't the Art Nouveau, and to be quite honest, if they don't hurry up and get it so that it's available for you Canadians, I'm going to stop using it. So they jolly well better get their act together. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use a reasonably large piece of paper. This is a piece of sketch paper, actually, but very good quality. Sorry, just trying to bring this over. This is 160-gram cream cartridge paper. Called cartridge paper because they used to make cartridges for guns out of it, but that doesn't need to concern us anymore. Anyway, so I'm going to take my large watercolor brush, if I can find it, this one, number 12, Princeton Aqua Elite. Only one problem with these handles that are kind of got this sort of waxy feel to them. I think it's not like the traditional sort, which is shiny. You can rub paint off of that, but when these get dirty, it's harder to get them clean. I'm sure there's a way, but anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some pots of plants, pots of flowers, pots of whatever. And the way I like to paint is to just go for it. So I'm going to go for it. And I'm just going to put pots across here. And I'm not quite sure how we're going to do it just yet, but I'm going to start off with one here. And let's just paint a rectangle like that. And maybe add a little bit of something darker so that it mixes and mingles. Okay, and then the next one, can't do any more there at the moment, can I? Because it's wet. So the next one I'm going to make yellow. So working on this coloured paper is going to be interesting because obviously things are going to look a little bit different to the way they normally do. And then maybe this one we'll do in pink. This is possibly not going to work. Not sure what this paper is going to be like, really. And then underneath, I probably should have done it the other way around, but it wouldn't fit on the camera. So let's put a green one here. And maybe greenish yellow here. Let's do another one like that. That sort of shape. And then maybe we'll have a blue one here. And blue looks a bit greenish, doesn't it? But I don't think that really matters. So, you know, painting for relaxation, it actually should be about painting for relaxation, which means don't worry, be happy. So we're putting some leaves in there, as you can see, and I'm going to put some slightly different ones in here. And don't worry if they get close together, because I'm sure, you know, these plants, they like to mix and mingle with one another. It's a nice green, isn't it? It's kind of crying out for some flowers in the middle there, so I'm just going to pop some blue in there, which will give us some blue flowers. And if you ever want to consider yourself to be perhaps painting in an abstract way, this is one way of doing it, because you can allow things to go completely higgledy-piggledy and out of shape, bent out of shape, as they say, and then it stops being a flower or a plant or whatever and starts to be more abstract. You just let it. There's a bit of a trend at the moment, isn't there, to paint what they call intuitively. I don't understand what that means, because surely all painting is intuitive, isn't it? isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong. What else is it? If it's not intuitive. And that just seems to me like an excuse for making things that don't look right. Don't either look realistic or be truly abstract. Fine, but don't laud it. Anyway, I'm enjoying myself here, and I hope if you give this a go, you will too, because what we're doing here is we're putting in the background foliage colour. Then when this is dry, we will embellish it with pen and ink. I've got a very strong affinity at the moment for these Tombow brush pens, which I like. I think they're designed for calligraphy, but they work really well. I like what they do. So that's me. This here needs to have some flowers. I was thinking of orchids when I did the practice one of this. Yellow. Can you get yellow orchids? Probably can, because they dye them, don't they, these days? So just thinking orchids. And then this one needs to be pink. Oh, look, peonies. And then this one over here. What colour shall I do that? I think I had orange before. I'm sure that there's no such plant as this. I'm just making it up. Let it go off the paper. And it's wild, isn't it? Isn't that wild? Let's get the hairdryer and dry it, and then we'll come back with some wild pen. This is more or less dry now, and I've got my Poetique pens here, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use a similar colour to what I've used for the original, and then I'm just going to do a really simple design, really casual, in a similar colour, right? So it looks, I don't know, it looks okay. So it doesn't matter what you do, anything will do. Whatever you feel like, whatever comes out of the end of your brush is good. And if you stick to a sort of, not complementary colour, but just a slightly darker tone of what you started off with, I think that could look quite nice. So, and you could do, I don't know, you could do a few dots. You could do lots of things. You could do it in, what's the word, gold or something like that if you wanted to. Let's do some circles on this one. Like that, why not? And this one is yellow, and I think I'm going to do some bands. And I'm really not trying to make it even, not trying to make it neat, not trying actually not to do any of those things. Trying to be 5 years old. It's the nearest I'm going to get to being 5 years old is with my brushes. So, you know. Now, the black is the time for the black. Here it is. And that one doesn't seem to be working quite so well. So where's the other one gone? Here it is. So what I'm going to do, let's just make sure you can see, where I've done these wild outlines of leaves, I'm just going to come with my pen and encourage them to look more like leaves. So just pressing quite hard in places to get a nice dark line, and in other places very lightly. And then we can just basically transform these sketchy lines into something more interesting. And we can have fun while we're doing it. These leaves have got sort of hints of parallel veins going up. And then we have our flowers. And we can do whatever we want with these. We can do something like that. Whatever seems the most graphically pleasing to you. And the stem. Some of them can go outside of the line, outside of the colour, I mean. And then, if you want, you can emphasise the shape of your pot by coming down with the pen in a wonky sort of fashion. Make it a bit darker there underneath. And Bob's your uncle. You could also, if you want, emphasise your design by doing something like this. Or whatever you feel like. Number 2. I'm going to do the flowers first, and what I'm going to do is these. Because I like doing those, and I've liked doing these for about 65 years. And I have given myself permission to do whatever I want. If not now, then when? And I think that looks quite pretty. But I am only 5, so my taste is obviously a bit dodgy. So we'll come back for the leaves, and we'll just do one dark line by pressing hard and one light line by not pressing hard. And we'll let that overlap out here. Some of them are not filled up with colour. And then again, our pot. We'll do the outline. Bit of dark there, perhaps. Could do more leaves. I would suggest leaving it at this point and coming back if you feel you want to balance out what happens next. So then this one here is looking very unshaped, but we can put nice big leaves in the background here with lovely veins, quite firm. This one is kind of, I'll put another one here. This is all about the foliage, this one. But we have to think about flowers a little bit. So I'm just going to do the pot here. And I think this one has got a rim like that. And what shall we do? I think similar to this, but bigger. And of course, you can, if you want, come in with some more blue, some more petals, some more colour rather, if you want. Do that, for example. bit more over here, maybe. A bit more here. You have to play it by ear. And if in doubt, do not panic. Just add more. You remember a little while ago we were saying if you don't like it, it's not finished yet. So we just make this one really dark in the middle and that rescues it, I think. We wait for that to dry. Put some more petals up here, some more petals out here. That's pretty funky, isn't it? And we could use a bit more, no, not that, that's too bright. You could always try the grey to make shadow underneath the rim, like that. So just put some grey in there. Okay, this is fun. Fun, fun, fun. And we have some pointy leaves here. And these ones are going to be, I think they're quite scritchy, scratchy ones. I'm going to go scritchy, scratchy, big flowers. Something dark in the middle, perhaps. And the freer you are with your lines and your strokes, the less you try to control what's going on, chances are the happier you'll be with the result. In my opinion, for what it's worth. You need to let go. Okay, and here we've got our orchids. I had some orchids for Valentine's Day this year, and they've just given up. They've been flowering all this time, which is amazing. Like I say, I tend to kill everything that comes anywhere near my house. But they've just, so that's what, February to July is 5 months. And they've been flowering beautifully. And then all of a sudden, they said, that's it, we're gone, out of here. And so I don't know, does anyone have any advice as to what to do with an orchid that stopped flowering? I know you can make them flower again, but remembering I live in the back of beyond, we have long, cold winters. We used to, when we lived in the Bahamas, we used to have an orchid house. And when they stopped flowering, the orchids were put in there. It wasn't my orchid house, it was on the property where we lived. But we don't have anything like that here. Obviously. So I live in the real world now. Okay, so we just put in these orchids on this pot here. Final one. This one doesn't have any flowers. It's just really cool leaves. Press and release, press and release. I'm teaching myself as I go along to relax more. I mean, obviously, if it's not your style to be loose and relaxed and spontaneous and everything, and you like to keep things more accurate, then you can do all of the same things that I'm doing, but just do them a bit more slowly. I mean, I'm obviously doing things as fast as I can so that I can get as much as possible into as short a time as possible, because I don't believe in wasting your time. Your time is precious. So you want to see what I'm doing and get it done, get it watched, so that you can, you know, get on and do it for yourself, don't you? And yeah, I don't want to speed things up. Some people like to use sped up footage, but I don't like watching it, and I don't want to do it. So you won't ever see that from me unless we're just trying to make some particular point. And also, you might have noticed we've stopped doing shorts. We're not doing shorts anymore because the AI has taken over the shorts. It was fine when we were doing them. We could, because YouTube wanted to show everybody's shorts, but now there's far too many people making them using AI, and I don't want to go down that road at all. And not as Tamsin. So we aren't doing shorts anymore. We're just doing longer and better videos with the occasional live premiere, and carrying on doing what we were doing before the short form video appeared. And yeah, so if you want shorts, you need to go and look at someone else. You won't find them on our channel anymore. Only the ones we've already done, obviously. Right. Okay, so what have we got there? 6 pot plants, all in a row. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm not going to do a sketch of this because it's all about you expressing yourself and doing your thing as impulsively, compulsively as you possibly can. I'm happy with the cream-coloured paper. It's nice and thick. Why not try doing some work on some toned paper, either cream or any colour really, and you're going to find that it unifies the whole thing in a way that doesn't happen with white. This was the same painting more or less that I did before on white. You notice I did a few cactuses at the bottom there because I had space. I don't have space for them on this one. But that would be a nice little project, wouldn't it, too? Just some of those, perhaps make a nice greetings card. Anyway, have fun with that. This one is my favourite. I thought I had messed that up, but I haven't. And don't forget to subscribe, please. Like, turn on notifications. Don't forget to turn on notifications. People forget to do that, and then they don't hear when our new videos go up. It helps us if you can like the video, click on the thumbs up. Helps us if you leave a comment, which I know hundreds and hundreds of you do. That's marvellous. It helps a lot. And I'm not desperate. We are growing, still growing very fast. We've got 113,000 subscribers now, and that's wonderful. But don't let us let the momentum drop. Let's keep watching. Let's keep painting. Let's keep having fun together. And I'll let you go now. I'm starving hungry. It must be lunchtime. I've worn myself out. My voice is gone. Everything needs renewing. I think I might go and have a quick sleep. So I'll see you again soon, everybody. Bye for now. Bye-bye.